What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here for my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Wow. We really are a bipolar team, or at least us fans are, because I got people who are coming at me mad as hell right now because the Cowboys won against Washington. Although the Giant fans are happy. The Giants fans are actually saying, finish us when we play them, because they're trying to get that, number one pick in the draft. And by the looks of it, they may just be able to do that. And that's not to say that we will win against the Giants. It's been that kind of season that you can't take anything for granted. People are like, you just messing up draft position, man. We're losing out on that high pick and everything else. I hear what you're saying, but there's no guarantees on the draft. If we get a top 10, top 12 draft pick, we're in a much better position than we are when we're drafting at like 26, 27. Because even at 10, our second round pick will be 42. I'm not worried about the draft. Okay. I'm not worried about draft. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not worried about the draft. Okay. I am 59 years old. I have seen so much with the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, and the football team. At 59 years old, I can actually start taking my Social Security at 62. And there's a big debate on if you should take it then or if you take it later, because the sooner you take it, the smaller your checks are. They tell you, wait till you're 70 years old to take your Social Security checks because it'll be a bigger check. And I was reading this story about a guy who him and his wife decided, we're going to wait till 70 to take our retirement check because then it'll be about 25% more. And what they said is, if you take it at 62 versus 70, the break-even point is at 82. At 82, then you will have made more money by waiting than taking it early. Which sounds good. You want to get as much money as possible. But here was the thing for him that they didn't plan on. Sadly, she passed away at 68. She passed away at 68, and he's going to be turning 70 the next year. And he looked at it from the standpoint of, it would have been nice had me and my wife taking the Social Security at 62. Be it would have been less money than we were able to take out at 70, but she didn't make it to 70. And that would have been more money that they could have done things together to enjoy, even though it may have been less money in the long run. You follow where I'm going here? Or did I lose everybody? I can't worry about the draft and next season, because like Dan Quinn said, tomorrow's not promised. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the draft. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the draft and see these players mature and become a winning team. I got today right now that I'm trying to make as good as possible, because tomorrow may never come for me. And that's the way I look at it. The idea of saying, we could get a top 5 pick and we're just going to suffer through the season and we're not going to have another victory and we're going to have that bad taste in our mouth and everything. I get it. This is a short-term game. This is just like a 5-second high. I understand that. But it was so needed after 5 weeks, actually 6 weeks, because we had the bye, of just no hope whatsoever, of literally the Cowboys festering and literally destroying themselves, finger pointing left and right. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones being the biggest idiots that you've ever seen. That you literally say, we are the worst out there, that it hurt down to my soul. Okay? To ruin Dan Quinn's party, to help the Commanders to a 3-game lose streak, because I had heard Washington fans that were coming around Big Spank Dog that were just talking so much trash. And I kept saying, it might pump the brakes a little bit here, because some of the teams you're beating aren't exactly the cream of the crop. Congratulations, you're looking good. Your guy is a rookie, but now there's a book out there, and I think he's getting banged up. I think he's slowing down. But a lot of fans are pissed off, and it's like, why are you happy? Why are you happy? This team's, it's like last week. Why are you happy? Why are you happy? Well, the team's, looking for a top pick, and they're pissed off about that. So we literally have a war brewing between Cowboy fans. No matter what the Cowboys do, whether it's Dak Prescott or Trey Lance, there's a war. Whether it's Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, there's a war. Whether we're winning or losing, there's a war. We always just bipolar. But this at least showed you what the team was trying to achieve. When you go into a game, I don't think anybody game plans to say, let's have Cooper Rush throw the ball 60 times. I don't think that that's ever going to be a game plan that they write out. It may end up being what happens because of circumstances, but I don't think you look at that and say, that's how we're going to win, by having Cooper Rush throw 60 times. In the same way that I'm sure they look around and say, let's only run the ball for 40 yards and we'll get Dak Prescott running for his life and just throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb and we'll go ahead and win a game. I don't think that that's typically the game plan. I don't think that the Cowboys' game plan is, we don't need no stinking turnovers. We can just be minus 10 in the category, okay? We'll just be minus 10, and that's the way that we'll win. I don't think they ever game plan and say, let's just not run the football. What you saw yesterday, although the Cowboys still tried to give it away with mistakes, blocked field goal, fumble by Rico, missed field goal, missed opportunities, continuing to give the Commanders the ball, block punt, on our side of the field. And if you look at statistics, you see Washington with 412 yards, Cowboys with 332. You see passing yards, 241 for the Cowboys, 267 for the Commanders. Rushing yards, you saw 91, which is actually pretty good for us, versus 145. You see yards per average, Cowboys 5.4 versus the Commanders 6.1. But the most telling stat out there was the time of possession. We held onto the ball for 35 minutes to their 24. And the key things in here is we got 4 sacks to 1, and we got 2 interceptions. And we got special teams with 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. That's more of what you want to do. You don't want your quarterback, be it Dak, be it Cooper Rush, be it Trey Lance, to become single gamed, as in the only thing we're going to do is throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb. What you saw, let me go to the stats here. Player stats. You got Rico with 86 yards, Zeke Elliott with 3 yards, Cooper Rush with 1, CeeDee Lamb with 1. I don't need to see CeeDee Lamb run anymore, please. But what you saw was CeeDee Lamb, of course, the lion's share, 10 catches, 67 yards. They were tough yards. But you saw Schoonmaker with 3 catches. You saw Jalen Brooks with a catch. You saw Bevan Span Ford with 2 catches. You saw Rico Dowdle with 3 catches. You saw Hunter Lipke with a catch. You saw Kayvon Turpin with a catch. You saw Jonathan Mingo, and the Mingo package got you 8 yards, caught a pass. When you can move the ball around to different locations, then it's that much harder to stop. If the only thing you do is throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb, we know, let's cover that guy, and you're taking everything away. This is what the Cowboys have wanted to do with their offense. By no means am I saying everything's hunky-dory, we're ready to run the table and make the playoffs. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But that's more of the winning formula. That's more of what you need to do. You need to be able to run the football. You need to be able to be efficient when you pass the football. You need to make sure you don't turn the ball over. You need the defense to get some takeaways, to give you more opportunities to score in better field position. All these things add up to getting a win. Now, I'll be 100% real. I'll be 100% real. I did not count on the Cowboys winning. I didn't. I thought this was going to be Dan Quinn, showing no mercy, literally finishing us, having said what he said about the Cowboys and everything else. And, man, they are killing them. And if you want to see something funny, oh, my God, please watch the Rio. Rio went on for like 41 minutes. Rio was having such a bad day. His internet didn't work. His AC was broke down. He couldn't half watch the game, so he was burning up. And then he was seeing he couldn't stream the game. He was just, I wanted to go to his apartment, give him a hug and a fan. But he went deep. I mean deep on the Commanders. So definitely, if you want a good laugh and feel better about yourself, watch Rio on that one. I actually, we were watching him and just literally laughing. It was just a reaction. Sorry, Rio. Sorry. But damn, that was good. We have problems. We have a lot of problems. But what I will say is this. Mike Zimmer, given more time, working with the players, has seemingly made things better as we've gone on. Again, I am not trying to tell you and sugarcoat this and say we're a good team right now. But to see Micah step up and play hard and do what he did, to see CeeDee Lamb not give up, to see Rico, to see all of these guys playing like this was the Super Bowl was at least a good feeling. That at least says, regardless of what the Joneses do, these guys out here are playing for each other. Now, let's check this out because this is pretty cool. This is, of course, oh no. Hold on. Broke-ass media. Broke-ass media, we have to do everything. Broke-ass media, we do it all. There we go. You have to be the cameraman, the lighting department, the talent, or lack thereof. Baldies.
After Washington cut the lead to 20-17 with 3 minutes to go, Kevontae Turpin was fielding this Austin Seibert kick when he muffed the kick.
Unbelievable.
And the ball went through his legs. And Washington has 2 men right in front of him. And he does whoop, whoop. He did just a little whoop, whoop.
A little whoop, whoop.
99 yards. 99 yards, nobody touched him. But look at this man right here. Thomas right here, leading the charge as Cavante puts one nail in the coffin, except that Washington would score on a Daniels to McLaurin touchdown of 86 yards, cutting the lead to 27-26. And Dallas lines up for the announced onside kick. 5 on each side. But there's that Thomas character right there in the middle. And Washington tries for the middle onside kick. And Thomas picks it up off the second bounce, and whoop, he goes 43 yards. And just like that, in 3 minutes, the Cowboys had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown to knock off the Commanders.
There you go. You like to see that. You like to see young guys step up and play well for us. So here's where things got interesting. You always hear about players meetings only, which is when you have a team that's definitely going downhill. They're just like, we screw the coaches. We got to fix this shit ourselves and things. But Jordan Lewis talked about some of the hard conversations that they had internally. What we talk about, what type of men do we want to be individually? Lewis said to Monday Morning's Albert Breer, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Football is a recreation of true life. We understand that we want to be amazing men. In order to do that, we've got to go out there and fight no matter the circumstances. I feel like we've been doing that these last few weeks. Coach McCarthy just said, keep chirping away. We're doing some good things. Defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer came into the defensive meeting and showed us some good things that we were doing. He just told us to keep chipping away, that the ball is going to roll our way. Beating the Commanders snapped a 5-game losing streak skid for Dallas. Cooper Rush threw for 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. The defense got 2 interceptions on Janian Daniels, his most in a single game so far, and sacked him 4 times. The result, a bit fluky, to be fair. The Cowboys can't expect to score 2 touchdowns on special teams every game. Very much so. So that was collectively. You can't put it all on one person. You can't put it all on one person. It's a team sport, people. And what you got yesterday was a team win. Special teams, 2 scores. 2 scores. Without those 2 scores, we don't win. Cooper Rush, efficient, not turning the ball over. Your running game, running. Your defense, sacking the quarterback, getting takeaways. All those things are things that add up to a win. Now, I'm interested to see Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan. It's probably already played because I overslept today, but I ain't mad at myself for that. I'm interested to see how he takes it. The worry for me more than anything else is if the Cowboys go through, they win against the Giants, they got Carolina on the list, they got Washington again, that the Cowboys, which right now are 2-1 in their division, that they look and they say, we just locked Dak Prescott, we were right there. If we didn't have all those injuries, we're a good team. And they end up doing the same things. That's the biggest worry for me. But let's hear what the guys have to say on ESPN. And I think they actually have changed their tune a little bit on Micah Parsons.
Yesterday's game, the Cowboys were 10.5-point dogs at ESPN Bet, making this their largest upset win since 2010. They'll be underdogs again this season, and Micah Parsons is saying, bring it on.
I'm not done yet. I don't plan on tanking. If they were drafted, I hope that's ruined because we got a lot of football left to play. Like I said, as long as I'm a part of this team, we're always going to fight.
Okay, so
one of the best things I've heard him say all year. It's just one of the best things I've heard him say all year in terms of trying to capture what this team really needs. And that's the type of leadership they need from Micah. Of course, his play is there, but for him to be positive like that, commenting on his team, on the future of his team, not quarterbacks from other teams, any other situations or anything like that, what we need to do to win next. I like that about Micah.
Yeah, listen, I know like a couple weeks ago, I was very critical. A lot of people at the state was very critical of Michael, what he said. But I also got to give him praise when he showed, first of all, he played a heck of a game. And then to hear what he had to say in that moment, I think just speaks to the true character of Michael Parsons. And I think that type of stuff can permeate through other guys on the team, because clearly I think Michael Parsons is one of the leaders in that locker room.
Yeah, and the thing is that, I mean, it clearly shows this football team that they're not mailing it in, all right? And that's why I took him as my dog. So did Brew this game. So it's not surprising. The effort's there. Micah Parsons is a great player. He had 2 sacks, influenced that game big time. So, yeah, I mean, it was great to see, but let's not go kid ourselves.
Yeah, can we talk about what it took for them to win this? Yeah,
I mean,
really.
It took everything to win this thing. 2 fourth-quarter kick returns for touchdowns. But I got to say, my concern is, look, on the other side, when I said I didn't believe in Washington, that's who Washington is. They're 2 years ahead of it. Why? Because their quarterback's spectacular. Their offensive line's not very good. And so that was great. Unfortunately, I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, it's the fatal flaws that I always try to look at. I mean, even I haven't been on the Commanders, I mean, ever since the beginning, because how they started out fast and who are they playing, and then the Philadelphia-Pittsburgh comes up, and then you lose a game like this. I mean, those are different circumstances, but still, inability to stop the run, red area defense, Schoonmaker touchdown was an easy seam throw, miscommunication, a bust. That's a problem they've had all year long, but I agree with you in the positive nature and with the future of the Commanders.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, you've said it all along, and I've sort of thought that they are 2 years ahead of schedule, so maybe now they're catching up to roughly where they should be. They have a terrific young quarterback to build around. They've got some good pieces. They have people in charge who people believe in general. Can we just take a moment on how crazy the finish of this game was? For anyone who didn't see it. So the final score was 34-26. Is that the right? Yeah. Do you know that going into the fourth quarter, the score of this game was 10-9? It was 10-9.
It was a boring game. It was a boring game.
It was a super boring game, and it turned into one of the craziest finishes that we've seen in a long time. And to their credit, some will ask, someone brought it up in the meeting, with the Cowboys fighting like that and all that stuff, does that speak well for Mike McCarthy? For when we've seen some teams, we're going to get to the Giants coming up, that look like they clearly are mailing it in. Does it speak well for the coaching job and the respect the players have for it?
Well, I think so. I mean, look, Mike McCarthy's outstanding football coach. He really is. But when expectations are to win a Super Bowl and you're not going to make the playoffs and stuff, I don't think it bodes well for any of them.
And let's talk about still situational fails for the Dallas Cowboys in this game.
Yeah.
The long pass.
The McLaurin touchdown.
The McLaurin touchdown. How come it's not communicated or known by the returner, possibly to just slide? When instead of scoring on the onside, I understand everybody wants to score, but as you're running and knowing situation, what is my coach always told, if we have the lead and then I'm going, do I slide and take that? So there's situational fails that I feel their coaching overlooks that there were there.
Well, the long pass is actually a fireable offense. Like, you're playing sideline defense, right? Do we not forget, we still got to tackle the guy. This is absolutely atrocious, but this is the Zimbo.
You're on Zimbo.
Zimbo
but also, this is head coach also.
Guys, phenomenal. How many guys are breaking on the ding? On
craziest final 5 minutes of a football game all season. Let me get to, we have a 2-team race? Do we have a 3-team race? Do we have a 4-team race in the NFC? Because I bring up Jordan Love this morning, and who do you bring up?
I bring up the Niners and how bad they were.
No, but when I said, do we believe in them, I was going to say, do you believe in Jordan Love? And you were going to tell me there's another quarterback you're starting to believe in that could make things dangerous.
I believe more Sam Darnold.
We'll leave it right there. So the Cowboys find a way to get a win when everybody thinks that they should have lost. The Commanders killing Dan Quinn right now. They are literally calling Dan Quinn Ron Rivera right now. They're literally having, the Dan Quinn mask where Ron Rivera is up underneath of it. They literally are. So, it's amazing how much can change in 24 hours. We've got a really short week. We've got Thanksgiving games all day Thanksgiving. We've got, of course, games on Friday, Black Friday. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be a busy, busy week, to say the least. And, the Giants, they are at the point where the GM and the coach are on their way out. They are literally scrapping the season. I had actually heard that they were fired yesterday, but I was like, that doesn't make sense on a short week unless you were literally just trying to be completely discombobulated going into a game. So there you have it. All right, technically, we're not dead as far as playoffs go, okay? But, hey, it is what it is. Alrighty, good people, as always, I appreciate you guys. Hope you tune in tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, or excuse me, for the game, 8 o'clock Eastern for the game, and conversations about the Cowboys. As always, I appreciate you guys. And don't forget to check out that video of Rio. That shit, oh my God. And it's definitely not for young viewers. Have a great one, people, and I will see you all soon.